Good afternoon and welcome to another 5 minute video. Thank you for joining us as usual. And I actually had another topic for this session, but I thought maybe let us do a check yourself. I've decided to call it a check yourself, and we'll save the topic for the next one. So, as far as Bible study, do you, maybe just in the I also wanted to remind you to just always have a look in the description below. I usually try to post a link to something. If I've spoken about an application or something you can use, I try to put a link in the description. And just also let me know in the comments if there's something maybe I might have mentioned and you wanted to find a link and could not do that. I'll just try and help with that. Also, if there are any clarifications you need on anything, I can always recommend some videos. I usually watch a good number of videos, so I can find something to direct you to. But for our check yourself, maybe some things to ask yourself, to look at when you consider yourself with your Bible study. Are you growing from your Bible study? If not, are there some things that you think you may need to change? Have you looked at the way you study? For most people, as far as I think, it may consist of just sitting down and reading a certain passage of the Bible. And some people may come away with nothing, and that makes Bible study uninteresting. So, do you, maybe the way you study, do you think there's something else you need to do with it? Because believe me, you can make it as interesting as you want it to be. So it's not that Bible study is boring, it's how much effort you are willing to put into it, how much effort you're putting into it. So a good way to check yourself is, are you growing? Are you learning more? Are the things that you are finding out as you read the Bible something that maybe you didn't understand at a certain point, but now because you studied it, you are now able to understand it more? Um, any of the things we've mentioned, have you used any of them? Are we making that time for Bible study? Because believe you me, it is important to have that time. And when I say time, I don't mean you set a pot on the stove and then you say, you know what, within these 30 minutes, I'm cooking this, I'm going to go and study my Bible. No, no, no. You need to be able to just focus on what you're doing, and not every 5 minutes you are having to stand up to do something. So it needs to be exclusive time for Bible study. Now, I know I mentioned some things about a program, which I mentioned an application where you can listen to your Bible as you do something else. Now, that is different from when you actually sit down to study your Bible. So, are we setting aside that kind of time to study our Bibles? And maybe if you would like, just in the comments on this video, if you want to share some of the ways you study and maybe some suggestions that may help other people as well, that would also be very welcome. It's always good to, after a certain amount of time with whatever we're doing, just to see where, if I were to consider myself, where I was and where I now am. Uh, for example, if you were to learn, let's say, chapter 1 of John, and it made a lot more sense to you, you should be able to, when you hear a preacher preaching on that, to be able to even confirm what he says or deny what he says. And then that's one other thing. We should be able, it should help keep up with lessons when people are teaching. And in the event somebody is dealing with a passage you've studied, it helps in that if he's going to give more information, then it's going to add to what you already know, and you'll be able to already keep up with him. And that'll just be additional material, which I will suggest, of course, you put as notes in your Bible. Your reading Bible, your study Bible, if you have different ones you use, just always make sure to put notes in it. So our 5 minutes is almost up, and thank you for joining me for this 5 minute session. And just do that, check yourself. I'll try to make a couple of these every few videos. Enjoy your Bible study, and uh, you can make it as enjoyable as you want it to be. Thank you.